Hello, this is Atayu speaking, and today we'll be talking about conflict resolutions in project management. So, we'll begin with an introduction of what conflict is all about. Then, we're going to go to the characteristics of conflict, followed by the benefits of conflict in a project and the approaches to conflict resolutions within the project. So, we'll begin with what is conflict. Conflict, for my own basic definition, could be serious disagreements, which could be between team members, top management within a project, or an organization as a whole. Conflict in project management is almost inevitable. The potential for conflict in development projects is usually high since it involves individuals from different backgrounds and orientations working together to complete a complex task. The cause of conflict in team projects can be related to differences in values, attitudes, needs, expectations, perceptions, resources, and personalities. To understand conflict further, the situation must include elements of interdependence, emotions, perceptions, and behaviors of the various parties involved. Proper skills in dealing with conflict can assist project managers and the organization members to handle and effectively resolve conflicts, which can lead to a more productive organization in general. So, we'll go ahead to talk about the characteristics of conflict. It is important for a project manager to understand the dynamics of conflicts before being able to resolve it. Internal characteristics to conflict include the perception of the goal, perception of the other, view of the other's action, definition of the problem, communication, and internal group dynamics. We'll begin with the first characteristic, which is perception of the goal. Perception of the goal becomes a problem when success becomes competitive, especially in a case where focus is placed on the solution rather than attaining the goal. The next characteristic would be perception of the other. Perception of the other can create conflict when the attitude becomes us versus them. Moreover, similarities and differences are emphasized, causing division within a group. The next will be view of the other's action. View of the other's action can be a problem when the situation is competitive instead of cooperative. So, we're going to talk about the definition of the problem, which is also a characteristic of conflict. Definition of the problem can result in conflict when the size of this problem is escalated, issues are misconstrued, and original issues are lost. Communication in a competitive environment can cause mistrust, and information may be withheld within the project. Another characteristic will be internal group dynamics. Internal group dynamics here can be negative when the group structure is centralized and rigid rather than safe and open. These characteristics can strongly influence the behavior style of group members and affect the potential outcome of the conflict. In some cases, the manager's lack of skills to effectively manage and resolve conflict can be a problem too. We'll go to the benefits of conflict. Talking about the benefits of conflict increases personal growth and morale amongst team members. Conflict enhances communication. It encourages healthy debates and arguments, which helps to improve team culture. Conflict clarifies all doubts and queries, and conflict increases productivity as well. Talking about the approaches to conflict resolutions within a project, The research work of Kenneth and Thomas and Ralph Kilman in the 1970s led to the identification of 5 styles of conflict. The first style is the collaborative approach. In the collaborative approach, the manager works with the people involved to develop a win win solution. The focus here is finding a solution that meets everyone's needs. This style becomes appropriate when the situation is not urgent. An important decision needs to be made, and the conflict involves many people or a number of people across teams in the project cycle. The next approach or style, which we'll be talking about here, will be the competitive approach. With a competitive style, the person who takes the firmest stand wins. This style is often seen as aggressive and can be the cause of others in the conflict feeling taken advantage of. This style is considered more appropriate when a decision needs to be made quickly, or when an unpopular decision needs to be made, or when someone is trying to take advantage of a situation. The next approach we'll be talking about here will be compromising. With the compromising approach, each person gives up something that contributes towards the conflict resolution. The style is appropriate when a decision needs to be made sooner rather than later. Resolving the conflict is more appropriate than having each individual win. The next approach will be accommodating style. The accommodating style is one of the most passive conflict resolution methods, which I consider because it assumes one of the individuals must give in so that the other person can get whatsoever they want. As a rule, this style is not very effective, but could be appropriate in certain scenarios, such as maintaining the relationship with a team member or team members, which is considered more important than winning. The last style, but not the least, which I'll outline here, will be the avoiding style or approach. The last approach is to avoid the conflict entirely. People who use this style tend to accept decisions without questions to avoid any confrontation. This approach is appropriate when the issue is trivial and when the conflict will resolve itself on its own sooner than later. To avoid work conflict escalating to interpersonal conflicts in a project, project managers must be able to establish resolutions without forcing a consensus. They must be able to create firm field work environment, and project managers must be able to maintain a balanced corporate power structure and should be able to establish common goals within a project. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions or any comments, I really plead you leave it below the video. Thank you and have a wonderful day or summer. Bye bye.